If I would say now that we have a plan B, this would indicate a kind of willingness of the Commission to envisage seriously that Britain could leave the European Union. So I'm not entering into the details of a plan B, because we don't have a plan B, we have a plan A. Britain will stay in the European Union as a constructive and active member. I am 150% in favour of having Britain as a constructive member state of the European Union. We need Britain. Personally, I don't think that Britain needs the European Union, but that's a matter of conviction. Others may have a different feeling on that.
Have any reason for not welcoming David around this table. Britain belongs to Europe.
Prime Minister failed over Mr. Juncker.
Endless words, endless wind. Mr. Speaker, in the European elections, people cried out for change across the continent. They are intensely frustrated and they deserve a voice. Britain will be the voice of those people. We will always stand up for our principles. We will always defend our national interests. And we will fight with all we have to reform the EU over the next few years.
He was outwitted, outmanoeuvred and outvoted. Instead of building our alliances in Europe, he is burning them. He is a defeated Prime Minister who cannot deliver for Britain.
Well, Mr. Juncker has had a rough ride in the British press. We're told that he drinks cognac for breakfast. Yeah, I know that is not in the UKIP manifesto, I promise you. We're told he's Juncker the drunker. We're told he's a smoker. My God, isn't that awful? Some have even said that he drinks endless cups of black coffee, which is why he looks so old. We've got a referendum coming up at some point in the not too distant future in Britain. There is one thing that would convince the British voters to vote to remain part of a European Union, and that is a fundamental treaty change that says we no longer have to accept untramelled access to countless millions of people from across the whole of Europe. We need, and the British people demand, 80% of them want us to get back control of our borders so we can choose who comes to Britain. Now,
European leaders endorsed Jean-Claude Juncker's nomination to be President of the European Commission on Friday, and then immediately moved to limit the fallout after fierce British opposition. EU heads, notably Angela Merkel, sought to assuage Britain's concerns. Isolated British Prime Minister David Cameron insisted he was right to make a stand against Juncker's nomination.
This is a bad day for Europe. I believe that by working together we could have found an alternative candidate who commanded the support of every member state, and I think it's a serious mistake that other leaders decided to abandon that approach today.